Hello everybody. So we are watching an Umbrel. What's an Umbrel? It is, if you've not heard of it, it is software which runs on a Raspberry Pi. And if you buy a Raspberry Pi and connect a 1 TB SSD via the USB 3 port, you can download an entire copy of the Bitcoin blockchain. And I just thought I'd do this video whilst it's happening. So, a person in a van just delivered the SSD. I literally plugged it into the enclosure. I previously had an old, I think this was from a laptop. When I bought this SSD for the laptop, I think it came with an enclosure. So it's SATA 3. As long as it's SATA 3, your enclosure. So you just convert SATA 3 to USB 3. If you've only got the hard drive, the SSD hard drive, and you need the adapter, then you just need to go for a USB 3 to SATA 3 adapter, and that's it. You connect the let me just get back to my screen. This is your Raspberry Pi 4. It has to be a Raspberry Pi 4, not a 3. So I gather they're difficult to get hold of at the moment. So yeah, not much I can do to help there really, but it does have to be a Pi 4. You download the software, you buy an SSD, you get the enclosure. Yeah, so as well as the enclosure, you obviously need the USB 3 to SATA 3 adapter cable. A micro SD card that you put the Umbrel software on I used Balena Etcher, which is probably the most common one. Power supply, they say make sure you use a official Raspberry Pi power adapter. Ethernet cable, so don't use Wi-Fi, just connect your Raspberry Pi straight into the back of your router, your home router, or if you're doing it at work, then do it that way. Then a case. I've actually got the official case, but I've just taken the top off because the temperature was, let's go to, and yeah, if I scroll down a bit, you'll see temperature 67. It was up to 69. I think at one point it hit 71. Then I took the lid off the case, and it seems to. I read somewhere that you want to keep it at 70 or below. So I've not bought the heat sink or added on a fan or anything. So this is just as is, and we're in the UK tail end of the winter at the moment, so it's pretty chilly here today. I don't know what let me just check my phone. I'll tell you what the ambient temperature is in my house. It says 13 degrees outdoors. It actually feels colder than that indoors. So yeah, 13 degrees centigrade. You'll have to, you click it here, couldn't I? 151 degrees Fahrenheit or 66 degrees centigrade. That's the CPU temperature, and yeah, the ambient temperature is 13 degrees Celsius. 13. So yeah, this is the Umbrel, and this is kind of like the settings page. And if I go back to home, you can see here the balance is showing 0. I've not transferred any Bitcoin onto it. Yeah, there we go. It's it's done 0.58% in probably, I don't know, 20 minutes. So what's that? I don't know, say just over 1% an hour. That's going to take, yeah, just 3 to 4 days, I would think. And once you've got it, then you can experiment and you can write code and you can query the entire Bitcoin ledger with code. And just to give you an idea of how many people are, so in the United Kingdom, There are 217 people running full nodes. And in the world, 14914 nodes. Let's have a look at a live map. Wow. Live map of reachable nodes in the Bitcoin network being crawled by the BitNodes crawler. Oh, and you can see, if for any of the network engineers out there, you can see the AS, the autonomous system number, I believe. I'm thinking that's the BGP AS, autonomous system number. So there we go, Seattle, Canada, Sao Paulo, Kazakhstan. There's still one in Kazakhstan. Oh, because the mining's probably not happening anymore, but the full nodes are still alive and well. Australia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Iran. Yeah, so there's not much over Africa, but Canaries, South Africa, Durbanville, Sweden, China, Bahrain, Japan. So yeah, truly global. And Satoshi, I don't know what these are up here. Top user agents. Network availability, consensus height. So I can't claim to know what all of this means, but yeah, it's all out there for you to investigate. And the only way to truly verify, the whole point of Bitcoin is that it's trustless. So it doesn't need any trust. So you don't have to trust anyone. It's the motto is verify, don't trust. And the way to verify these transactions is by running a full node, and then you can view the transactions. You're not relying on a third-party provider to provide you with that information. So this is, if you under the bonnet, this is actually Bitcoin Core, and you can query it from the command line. So in due course, there may well be some videos, and I'll try and do that with Python, and we'll see where we go. The other benefit of running a full node is, so Bitcoin is basically the layer 1, which is the base layer, and then there's a thing called Lightning which runs on top of it. So I think there's some kind of similarities between kind of a central bank and then, which is Bitcoin, and then I know you shouldn't really compare Bitcoin to a central bank. That's probably a bad analogy. Let's just say Lightning runs on top of Bitcoin, and it allows for instant payments with virtually zero charges. So Lightning's you can run a Lightning node on a full Bitcoin node, I believe. So that will be something which I will be looking at. It's not running a Lightning node, or well, hang on. Running a Bitcoin node is not the same as mining. Let's get that clear. Running a Lightning node, I believe, can make you a very small amount of money, credit, whatever. I'll be looking into that, and again, most of this is kind of a learning exercise, so I just wanted to share this with you while it's actually in progress, because obviously once it's fully synced, it'll be too late to go back and show you the progress. And yeah, I did want to, I mean, it's important to realize that it does take a long time to synchronize, obviously the 3 to 4 days, which I was talking about just now, but there we go. I mean, this is a Bitcoin full node in creation. So Raspberry Pi SSD, plug the SSD into the Raspberry Pi and power it on. Obviously, once you've installed Umbrel. So if you've installed Raspbian or Pi OS onto a memory card before using Etcher or GPart, or the other, whatever other ways there are. If you've copied an operating system onto an SSD card before, then Umbrel is just the same. Umbrel is basically the operating system, or the distro, the Linux distro, which will run on the Raspberry Pi, which will basically do all of the Bitcoin stuff for you. Plug in the SSD. You don't even need to format the SSD. Just because I was trying to research this and think, well, how do I where, how, what type? How do I format the SSD? You don't. You just plug in a brand new SSD into your enclosure, USB 3. Power on the Umbrel, and the Umbrel detects the SSD, and then goes off and does all this for you. So yeah, I'll probably do a follow-up video, and it will include me attempting to do something with Python to query the blockchain. I know you can do it with Bitcoin or Bitcoin Explorer and various things in the GUI, but as ever, if you want to do stuff with code, chances are you want to do it command line or with scripts, and you want to automate stuff, and you want to kind of get your hands dirty and so on. So yeah, that's it for now. So yeah, hopefully you've just, even if you don't know anything about Bitcoin, then just understand that it's not, I can't say the words because I'll probably get deplatformed, but if anybody tries to tell you that Bitcoin is private and it's used by criminals, you can see here, this is the least private thing you will ever come across. It's public. It's a public ledger. It's a decentralized public ledger of transactions of Bitcoin. So there you go. So this is just my knowledge. Go and do your own research, and yeah, verify, don't trust. See you in the next video.